What's going on, guys? Caleb Fast here. I'm joined with my brother
Thraxxx, you already know.
And across from us, it's the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only
Corey, aka Pairo.
Awesome. So we were lucky enough today to be able to talk to Corey. I've known Corey for, oh man, it's been a long time now.
It's been a long time, since high school, maybe even before that.
Yeah.
High school for sure.
And I'm really excited to do. This is not the Corey. This is not like the Pairo interview. This is we're gonna call this the Prime Studios interview, because just for time constraints, we got other things to do tonight. So, a couple quick questions. Where are we sitting right at this moment in time?
We are sitting at the first location ever, Prime Studios, Welland, 1019 Niagara Street. The location of dreams and happiness, that's for sure. But yeah,
I don't know, Thraxxx, would you agree with me when you say like this is the place where fucking dreams become reality?
This is definitely the place where dreams become reality. This is like a safe haven, man, like for artists, for real.
This is a really sacred place, and before I ask you anything, I just want to say that this place does mean like literally the world to me, bro. The fact that somebody is willing to put essentially the city on their back, and not only the city, the whole region, because there's nothing for us here. Okay, there's nothing for us here. We talked about it a little bit in the Jade podcast, which now that we know how to record these right, that one might sound a little fucked up, so we apologize for that. But that's what that's what business is all about. It's about improving, trial and error, and learning to get it right. So, what inspired you to open a recording studio?
So, funny story. I actually started recording for free in my mom's place. What was it? I think it was 2021. And I opened up a website. I started getting bookings, stuff like that. But I started for free. And then I went on for about a year doing that. And shortly after, I got the cops called on me by my neighbors. Probably like 2 to 3 times. We had the city coming. My mom was about to get a fine of like a couple $1,000s, and it was fucked. Our neighbors are fucked. They're just
slight noise violations that were occurring in Fawn Hill there.
Mind you, they'd be coming over at 6 p.m. and I'd be like, what the hell? Like, this is 6 p.m. The girl's coming over saying like, oh, I got to get up for work at 6 a.m. And at that time, I think I was studying for real estate still. Yeah. So I was getting up at 5 a.m. going for runs, and I'd still be up till midnight, and this bitch is coming over at 6 p.m. like, yo, I got to get up at 6 a.m. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Anyways, that almost turning into a driving factor. Yeah, for real. So that almost turned into a fine, which at that point I was like, okay, I still want to sort of keep the momentum. I don't know if I'll be doing engineering forever, but I was like, we got to find how to make this continue. And that's sort of where the idea blossomed for Prime Studios. Started looking for locations, and then all of a sudden this came up some random way. My mom knew the neighbor, and the neighbor was like, they're selling this place. And we're like, okay, we're going to jump on it. It seemed like the perfect location and place to start. And that's sort of where and how Prime Studios happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that seemed like it's meant to be to you, bro?
For real.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. When you say you want
them all together, the stars aligned.
Yeah, that's for sure. But also a bunch of work with the stars aligning, because like this shit, there's still a lot of stuff I feel like I want to do to it, but like just got to push through.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Sure.
And we've had conversations about that, about business and how, not to get into it, but when you're starting something, guys, when you're starting music, if you're starting a fucking ice cream shop, this shit costs a lot of money, bro. A lot of money. Like an undisclosed number. Doesn't matter, but.
And no matter what it is you venture into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it never ends. The thing is, like, no matter what you do, if you want to get to some level of success, just know that, like, you're spending money every day. Everything's going to come up. The heater goes out. You're buying $200 worth of heaters one day after you think you're done buying shit, but it's never ending. That's just the way of business. You got to evolve and spend money. That's just it.
Excuse me. And like I related it to hair cutting.
Yeah.
If a clip right now, I'm not balling out of control with the music yet. Okay. I cut hair every day of my fucking life. Okay. If a hair clipper breaks, what do?
Get another one.
Get another one immediately, bro. Why? Because the second I don't have that thing, the money stops coming in. Now the business is in danger.
Facts.
Right? So it's an important lesson, I think, in business. And we have somebody in front of us who's very successful in business, regardless of the point that we're at right now. Very successful in business, knows what they're talking about. It's something to pay attention to. Now, something that stood out to me with your answer was you wanted to keep this going, and by this, you're referring to the recording of independent artists.
Yeah.
You're not sure whether you, at that time, wanted to continue being in that engineering role.
Yeah, correct.
However, you still wanted to keep it going. Why? Why?
I don't know. Half of me doesn't know that, but the other half of me is that this area, Niagara in general, needed the space, quote unquote, to continue to create music that is basically there's quality assurance from my end, because I'm like, I wouldn't put out shit if it wasn't under good like employment or good management. So for me, it was like finding a way to continue to allow artists to grow in this area, but knowing that they can attach it to a name like mine. And with the education that I have and like all my background, I've been able to like do a lot so far, and I just wanted to give a place in this area for artists to continue to grow at a level that's like far beyond what you can really get in this area.
Right.
Because you're going to Toronto, minimum $100 an hour studio, and those guys sometimes are even shit, mind you. You could go to a fucking studio and they're fucking horrible, and it's like, no, like, we actually give a shit. Like, I'm OCD over here. If it sounds like shit, it's not going to be good enough for us. So we care like a lot.
So currently on the roster for engineers, who do we have?
We have Fader, one of the craziest dudes for trap beats and shit. Like, honestly, he'll blow up eventually. We got Ian, crazy vocalist, producer, musician in general, like just all around crazy, doing a lot of Caleb's stuff and working together, and
really
Ian's
bonding well.
Yeah, Ian's pretty awesome. We have Brenton on the other end. He's more in the rock realm and alternative. He just recorded Other Wives record, and we did that all here. Yeah, shout out Other Wives, and we did that all here. Yep. And we have Tovi. And he's pretty great with R&B stuff and pop. He records a lot of his own music. And then on top of that, we have JT. He does everything from sound design to hip hop music. So he's all over the place too, in a good way. We got so much talent, and that's the biggest thing. We really pride ourselves here in being able to offer just a plethora of talent that you just don't get anywhere else. Like, we're really trying to tailor to everybody's like sounds in the area, so that everybody actually has a chance. If you want to do EDM, you go to JT. If you want to do R&B, you're going to Tovi. Ian pop shit, and like Brent and rock, and
rap for Fader.
So yeah, so that's really where we're at. That's the roster.
That's amazing. That's a lot of fucking people. I lost count. So I think that's like 5 engineers total.
Yep.
6 including you.
And so yeah, exactly.
This motherfucker apparently can engineer.
Shit.
Legitimately, like last night we were at his base, and I had to record just some open verses, bro.
No way. So what happened?
So we go over to his house, and I'm like thinking that not thinking that I have to like run the session myself, but I didn't understand, like, this man actually like fucking knows how to use like auto-tune and like all the bullshit. You know what I mean?
And like, coming in hot with it.
He's coming in hot with it.
Yeah.
I've done similar thing where like I would record at my mom's house like forever, for years. Like, I record free, and then I started charging people. Like,
dope.
Like, I did that from a very young age, and like, yeah, I've always loved engineering, man.
That's fire. Keep with it. That's all I gotta say.
Exactly. So, all right, that's
it's
sick.
easier to engineer yourself, to be honest. I don't like relying on anyone.
No, I feel that.
I think Tovi would actually agree with that too. He likes to record a lot of his own stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. It's honestly the only way you can assure that you're getting the sound, unless you're paying like Justin Bieber's engineer to assure that for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing that these people need to understand also is that good music comes at a cost. Like everything we've said, you're gonna notice something about this podcast, okay, guys, and that it's the brutal, honest, sincere truth. Do you understand? Okay, right. So good music comes at a cost. Now, what are the rates to record here?
Rates right now are at $50 an hour. They're definitely going to be rising. So people, if you're trying to get in sooner than later. I'm not sure when this will come out, but right now we're at $50 an hour recording. And then for production, it's all quote based, because if you're looking for a full ass song, like it really depends on the engineer, what you're looking for. Like that stuff's like lawyer billed, because it's dependent on what you're looking for. But right now we're just $50 an hour out here, which is pretty competitive. Most
It's incredibly
studios,
competitive.
yeah, especially for the talent we're offering. And like at the end of the day, those are going to rise for sure, just because people are getting better and we're building up even more clients. So yeah.
$50 an hour is going to sound like a lot of money to some people listening to this, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing inherently. What you need to understand is that recording here comes with benefits. For one, I don't have to drag my ass to Toronto. Okay, drive an hour there, drive an hour back, spend the gas money. If you guys want to go record in Toronto, don't go unless you are prepared to spend $100 an hour. Okay, that is the going rate. I recorded half of that Le Douleur Excuse, my first EP in Toronto. The songs that were recorded in Toronto at a so-called, I'm literally going to name drop, it's Manic Studios. I recorded this. I'm not dissing them at all. It doesn't sound right. So regardless of where you go and who has the names and who's in the building saying that this guy was in here and this guy was in here and last week, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Okay, what matters is the quality of the music that's coming out. I've learned this the hard way twice now. Once with a studio, once with a videographer. Okay, big names that people work with don't matter. It does not matter. What matters is your product. So what you're getting at Prime Studios is you're getting a $100 an hour product that you should be getting, not a bad one, for a price of $50. I don't see how that. I don't see how it could get better than that.
Yeah.
You're getting better quality for cheaper.
You're getting better quality for cheaper. Thank you.
Yeah.
Talk to me just a little bit about what exactly is on the premises. Like, what features exactly does this studio have? Like mics, like chill space, like even outside of here. Because this is an incredible property. I really want people to understand like the full
scope of
what Prime is.
Yeah, Prime.
Like right here. Sure.
Yep, yeah. So Prime is about a 1 acre property. We got a bunch of land that goes all the way to the back. So on these beautiful
1 acre, folks.
1 acre.
That's a farm.
That's a farm. So you can walk during the summer days to the back. If you have a nice 8-hour session, 12-hour session, go enjoy yourself, go smoke weed, go drink some water, whatever you do,
go pray, whatever you
do, and just enjoy the day. And then during the winter, it's obviously not as fun to go back there, but in the space itself, it's just all lounge. And then upstairs we have a bit of a rehearsal area, which we'll be adding some drums and some mic cabs to in the coming months. So it's pretty much built for everybody here, from rehearsing to just chilling. In terms of mics, we got that Neumann U87 AI, which is pretty standard. I'd say it sounds good for rock, rap, pretty much industry standard. Yeah, for everything we're doing these days. And we're running Mac Studio and all the best plugins. Honestly, like, we love UAD. We just dropped a bag on all that stuff. So pretty much like standard shit, but it's really about the people. Like, we have really great people here that are, I think that matters more to me, is like the vibe that we're able to bring, and like the team of people when it comes to bigger projects. We have such a great roster that, I don't know, it just like the quality we can bring, that's really where it's at. Like, because anybody can have a U87 and it can fucking suck. You could go to Toronto, use that same mic, somebody doesn't know how to record you, and you get fucked for $100 an hour. So luckily a bunch of us have actually went to school for audio engineering, including myself. So there's a very like strict not policy, but like strict expectation. Everybody adheres to certain standards, because that's what I did. So it's like we're all on the same page there. So yeah.
And the only reason I asked like the specifics of the studio is so like people do know everything is industry standard, but also so that when people get here, this is a very comfortable space to be in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a person who doesn't feel calm in very many settings.
That's true.
Ever. So for me to be able to come to a space where I actually feel like I can think about one thing at a time.
Yeah.
If I feel that way, you're gonna love recording here. You're going to fall in love with this space. It's gonna be your second home.
Yep.
And whoever is engineering you, they're gonna be, honestly, you're gonna establish a personal relationship. Like, Ian, I know you're watching this, so I'm gonna just say this right now. I never had, like, I knew who you were before we started making music.
True.
But like, I know, like, this man's my brother now.
True.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's my actual friend.
Yeah.
Like, I want to like hang out with this guy. Like, we do things together. You know what I'm saying? So, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, fucking Prime Studios is the vibe here is just immaculate, honestly.
Thanks.
That's just what I had to add there.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. And I was just off of what you were saying with Ian. Once I heard, what was that song? The first song you guys made together?
Lovers in a Past Life.
Yeah, Lovers in a Past Life. I didn't know that you didn't know him like that before making music. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I literally hit Ian up, and I said we should make one for the city. That's exactly what I said.
Damn.
I said I think it would go crazy. And Lovers in a Past Life, by the time this podcast comes out, it still won't be out. But I actually have some news. So I guess this is going to also be a little bit of an announcement. Me and Ian have, and he goes by the artist name Rydire, okay? It's Ridire, okay? I know him as Ian, okay? But me and him have an EP coming out this summer.
Crazy.
Lovers in the Past Life's going to be on there. A couple more tracks. And essentially what happened was I said, let's make one for the city. He welcomed me into his personal home where he has his own studio.
Yep.
And we just hit it off. And that really is the power of music. It keeps coming back to this main point that we keep talking about. That's probably going to be a recurring theme. And that's like music unites people. And the only thing that this company stands for is uniting people.
Yeah.
We're not in a position where we're trying to put anybody on a pedestal. Anybody that's featured on our website or that we have anything to do with, we just fuck with their shit genuinely. And some people are doing better than others, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is recreate this feeling over and over and over again that like Nick he's like my brother, you know what I'm saying? But we were united through music. Corey I knew before.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Getting back on topic here, talking a little bit more about Prime, what are some of your personal favorite projects or artists that you like to work with?
Okay. So I wasn't paid to say this, but Caleb's good to work with. 100%. A lot of good projects there. When we first did our Dirty Dancing, that was one of the times where I just got really happy with the mixes I was doing. I felt like it came out really good.
Yeah.
And your performance on that one was really fire. So that was one of those moments for me where I was like, okay, fire, we can make this work. Like, we can make stuff sound good, and we have good people that sound great around here.
And someone serious.
Yeah, and serious both ways. That's the important thing. And that was probably when I saw the seriousness that there was a chance for something like this here, because we're expanding, like real estate's growing in this area, and there's a chance for us to really be in this like community. And that was one of those moments. For me, other projects though, I haven't worked on much lately because I've been really focused on like figuring out the business for this and making sure that's running. But we did a lot of your stuff, and I'm trying to think here.
Saiba.
Oh yeah, Saiba. We got to put that guy on the map. He's got to get some.
Saiba's follow that man right there.
Yeah,
follow that man.
Major placements on that guy. Like, his stuff's absolutely crazy.
It's different. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I sat in on one of Saiba's sessions.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to do that.
Yeah.
And I thought I was good at coming up with song. I honestly think I am good at coming up with lyrics pretty much on the spot.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know anymore. I seen this man make like literally 3 songs in like an hour.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, actually he did. We put a lot together that day. There was a bunch of music.
Bunch of people here too.
Yeah.
But the thing also was everybody in here was so respectful.
Yeah.
All his friends were so respectful. Said hi to everybody. No one's acting gangster. No one's acting hard.
Yeah.
It was just good vibes. Drinking fucking Hennessy. These guys are smoking weed. And when it's time to record, everybody shut the fuck up.
Yep. It's respectful
Beautiful.
as fuck. And that's also so important. I'm not for like bitches and fucking stupid shit. Like that stuff's just stupid to me. I all for good people that mean well and that respect you. Like push people back that don't respect your time, because at the end of the day that's all you have.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah,
Real talk.
that's really all you have. So don't waste your time with losers, and really just like find the right people. And you'll go through mistakes, because you'll meet somebody and you'll try it out, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. But yeah, straight up push people back that don't need to waste your time or anything.
Couldn't have said it any better.
Thanks, bro. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. But thank you for bringing that up, even, because yeah, Saiba's great. There's a bunch of other artists. I feel like I've worked with so many that I can't think of them.
You have worked with so many, and to be honest, like again, this isn't Corey's personal interview. Okay, what we're gonna do, this is gonna be like a little sub series of the podcast. Okay, this is essentially this is the Prime Studios episode number 1. Okay, but it's episode 2 of the podcast in order.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is the face of Prime Studios. Now, I want to really note something, and this is super, super important. Okay, if you come record at Prime, you might not be recording with Corey. There's a reason for that, and that's because you said you were focused on right now what?
I was focused 2 things. Basically building this business and making sure that our local roster is able to showcase their talent to all the artists. And then secondly, we're working on more production aspect, building clients in that sense. So I was focused a bit on scoring. I did some work with Amazon twice. They came back. So I did Amazon Canada Fashion Week video series. They did it twice with me, and they're little placements. The people that got me them are so awesome. Actually, I got to tell that story quick. So I used to work at a bar in Toronto.
What's the bar?
It's called Trinity Common, and it's actually my mom's friend's bar. They own it, they run it, and it was so sick at a young age to see people like do shit like that, because from a small town, you're like, oh shit, you got a bar in like Toronto. That's awesome.
You made it.
And they also, I'm gonna plug them. They are the owners of Big Fat Burrito in Toronto.
Word.
In Augusta, or it's like Kensington Market. Both places fire, but the Big Fat Burrito place has awesome burritos. Anyways,
Shout out,
big shout out. And then anyways, oh, so good, man. And when I was working as a bar back at the time, but you just got to be social. I was there. There's a group of guys with cameras that were actually filming something for the brewery next door. And I just saw them and I was like, yo, obviously I got to talk to these guys. So I just walked up, said, yo, my name's Corey. I produce music. And that was it. I connected with all of them. Dope group of guys. There was Charles. There was Anthony. I think Vocal Cadence and Charles are the same. Sorry if I'm forgetting you guys. Mm-hmm. But the 2 that I ended up getting really acquainted with were the ones that ended up leading to my Amazon placement and a bunch of other placements. So talk to people. If it feels weird, whatever, that could be the difference between you getting $1 million deal and nothing. I just talked to them, and it actually was about a year later that they hit me up. So it takes time, but just talk to people. Be yourself, like be friendly. That's the motto. Yeah.
That's the motto.
Yeah.
And notice how he said, hi, I'm Corey. I produce music, and you walked away.
Yeah.
Or essentially, like you. What I'm trying to say is you didn't like throw all this information in their face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me relate that back really quick to something personal in my life.
Yeah.
I work at a barbershop. I mentioned that. Okay. There is a gentleman who comes to my barbershop, and I'm not gonna out him on here because, again, being respectful. He is a famous lead guitar player in a very popular band that's coming from out of my area. The biggest band, essentially, that's still relevant.
Yep.
You guys want to figure it out, figure it out. When I see this person, the first time I met him, I did the same thing you did.
No way.
I cut his hair. We had a conversation about music. I found out while I was cutting his hair who he was. It's okay to fangirl a little bit, but try to do it in your head. Because what ended up happening was I just said, well, you know, my name is Caleb Fast, and I make music. Here's one of my Spotify cards. I hope you have a great day. And he's returned to my shop. He's a regular. When I see this man, I don't hound this man. I've never handed him another card. I will never hand him another card. I'll probably never even tell him I make music again.
Yeah.
Maybe if I have something come out, I'll go, oh, I just dropped some shit. The point I'm trying to make is try to be human all the time with people, because that's what's going to build the connections.
Yeah.
It's not chasing. It's not being too much. And it unfortunately, it is easy to come off as too much, even if we don't intend it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to even go off that. It just reminded me of this one thing I saw, sort of similar, but if you're not invited to something, don't chase it. Like, at the end of the day, things will happen when they happen, as long as you're putting in that work, but don't chase things in that regard. So literally, like he did, like I did, I just talked to them.
You just keep working. And then you just keep working.
Yeah. Don't, and
forget about it.
And people know when you're being, not shady, but like,
You have ulterior motives.
yeah, if you're just like, yo, I'm this, be plain and simple, cool. If something happens, cool. If not, it wasn't meant to be. That's literally how it works.
And you just keep working, because at the end of the day, it goes back to what we said in the first episode. If you're an independent artist and you want to do this music thing, at the end of the day, this falls on you, okay? It's your responsibility to get yourself to where you need to go. Nobody else is going to get you there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is going to lay out the golden road, okay? That's just the reality. I have 2 more questions, and then we're going to end this.
Yep.
Leading back, this isn't a question, this is a comment, and it's adding on to what you said. This is very important, okay? Corey is really focused on the business side of this studio.
Yeah.
In order to have a successful company, I run a company. This is my company. Somebody needs to be very focused on the business side.
Yeah.
When we say business, we mean making money. Okay? If there's not money coming in, there is no business. It is a hobby. It's very, very important to discern the two. Would you agree with that statement?
1000%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have somebody here who's really dedicated to continuing this legacy. They want this to be something that, if even after you die, this could still be here.
Yeah.
And this could be in many different places. There could be a Prime in Toronto. There could be a Prime in LA. There could be a Prime in New York. There could be a Prime in Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only way that happens... Yeah, exactly. The only way that happens is if somebody is focused on the business side.
Yeah.
You have somebody right here who's... We're sitting in the space, man. Like, this is no joke. We are at the studio.
Yeah.
He's focused on the business side, and that's another reason why you can trust Prime, is because this is going to be a successful company. Okay? This is going to be, in the future, a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
It has that potential.
Yeah.
It really almost already is.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's a really important thing. I had to get that off my chest, because there's a lot of people who make music, okay?
Yeah.
And that's great, because the act of making music is so beautiful. There's a lot of people who make money from music. One of those is a hobby, one of those is a career. And I had to, you got to figure out what you want.
Yeah.
You have to just know yourself, and you got to know, me personally, music to me is not a hobby. I'm turning it into a career. It is a career. We do make money from it, and that's important to know. It's important to know your motives in life, period.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing music, whether you're a chef, how far do you want to go?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable working for somebody else for the rest of your life? There is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with that. Or do you want to be the CEO?
Yeah.
It's 2 different things. Leads me into my last question, which is, what does Prime Studios mean to you? No, it's a bit of a weighted question, but I like to end things on a deeper note, because I think that all of this comes from a place of it's not just, this isn't just about making money. This isn't even just about making music.
Yeah. I honestly would have to say that Prime Studios is just about community. I think from when we started, I opened up an Instagram chat. We flooded it with about 50 or 60 people, I think, at this point. That
were local.
And that's just local. There's a few that are from Toronto. There are a few here and there. But I think just really building that community of people. Obviously, we're a business and we need to make money. Sure, that's part of it. But Prime Studios in this area, when I first wanted to start it, I continue to say it this way, but there was never the space to go to where you can literally make the best shit with the best people in the area. You're not driving to Toronto. You don't need to go to LA. And of course, everybody has their pros if you go certain places, but we have that here. We really do. There's many people.
Go listen to my music if you don't believe it. Go listen to Love and Other Drugs right now. Tell me it's not industry quality. Tell me it's not.
Yeah. And that's just the thing, is just being able to have those people and really building something here, because you don't have to go again to LA or whatever to make that the next step. Like, we could be that next step for you and your career even. So it's really just about knowing that there's a community around you. There's a house on the property, and I meant to say this before, but we're renting out the house, obviously, and that's also a sort of a pro or a benefit to this
Huge
location.
bonus, man.
We're building a collective. Like, there's a house on the property
that I'm eventually gonna move into.
Yeah,
it's one of the rooms mine.
One of the rooms is ready for you, and literally right now there's one of the engineers there. An artist is coming at one point. A manager will be there, and like, obviously we're at the beginning stages, but like, the sky's the limit. And I think that it's just really, when I think of it, I think of community. You got people in the house, you got this big property, you got a studio, there's just people together, and like, that's really how you make it in life. So business is a business, but we're built around community, straight up.
Business is a business, and we're built around a community, straight up. Yeah, that's perfect. Without like community, the fact of the matter is, the only reason anybody ever got anywhere was because of somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something you really need to, as a human, understand. The second you understand that, really the value of relationships, that's, I think, when you start to come into a full understanding of yourself as a human and other people. And I think that's when you're really going to start to blossom and see opportunities present themselves. Yeah. Because you're going to carry yourself in a way where every conversation matters.
Which they do.
The guy at the gas station.
Yeah.
The fucking homeless guy on the street. If I'm talking to Jay-Z right now, it is literally like I'm talking to the same person.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It really honestly shouldn't change. And as humans, do we fall short? We fall short all the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's our job to do our best. And yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy with that. Prime is an amazing community to me. I found a home here.
Yep.
There are many nights where I could have been doing things that would have landed me in trouble, but I was here instead. And so if you feel like you're somebody who could benefit from a good community of people around you, and maybe you're interested in music, send me a message, send Corey a message, send Prime a message, send Thraxxx a message. We're going to put you on the right track.
Yeah.
And I also want to add, this is a little test for you at home. Take The Weeknd's newest song, okay? Play it on Spotify. Okay, cue your song next to it. If your song sounds dramatically out of place next to The Weeknd song, it means there's something that's not right in the recording, in the mixing, in something. We're not saying it has to be perfect, but it should be. It's a good test to see, like, where is my music at? If I play this, does it sound like it's coming out of a fucking iPhone?
Toaster, yeah.
Does it sound like it's coming out of a toaster, or does it sound like, oh shit, it's not exactly, maybe it's not, but it's right there. Man, it's been an honor to sit down with you, bro. I'm really, like, you are a good friend to me. I'm very thankful to do this. We're gonna do this Prime Studios podcast again because we have a whole roster of engineers to go through to interview.
Yeah, we do. Some crazy people, but thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I always love talking about shit, so
100%.
I'm sure there will be another one.
And I just wanted to ask one last question.
Yeah, let's go.
What's the number one internet show online?
Number one internet show like that I watch on YouTube, or
Yeah, like the number one upcoming internet show right now. What would you say it is?
You're right. It can't be Mr. Beast, so I'd have to say Sincerely.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That's it. This is Caleb Fast.
Yeah.
This is my brother
Thraxxx, you know.
I'm with my brother
Corey,
and we're signing off. Thanks for your time, and we're gonna catch you guys in the next one.
Ciao.
That was fire.
Yeah, that was a lot of good
That was
stuff.
fire.
We're talkers, bro. That's my shit.
Yo, I want to apologize to both of you for being late.
Hold on, let me fucking turn the camera
Yeah.
off.
We got that all rolling.
Yeah.
Tell the camera.
What's going on?